Before we get into the rain test, the first waterproofing feature we gotta check out is the tub floor that runs all around the entire tent. I measured the height of this tub floor at the lengths, and that came in at about 7.5 inches. As for the height at the widths, that came in at about 12 inches, so quite a bit higher. The next feature is the seam taping. There are a couple of seams on the flooring, this seam running down the entire floor. I checked it and found that it was taped. The other seams are those in the corners, and these were taped perfectly too, up until the top of the tub floor. Everything else above the tub floor isn't taped. As for the rainfly, every single seam was taped perfectly. You can see the outline of the seam taping here. The next feature is the rainfly. This is a full coverage rainfly which extends almost all the way down to the ground. And what's especially important for a nylon tent like this half dome is to have multiple stakeout points on the rainfly. So I really liked that I could pull the vestibules away from the body at the lengths, and the widths also have an extra guy out point too. If you notice though, the widths can't be pulled away as much as the vestibule, so that's why the top floor has to be very slightly higher. And the last feature we gotta check out during the rain test is the rainfly vents, one on top of each door, so 2 altogether. Let's see if it leaks in heavy rain. After almost an hour of heavy rain later, I noticed that certain parts of the rainfly around the vestibule doors are starting to soak through. Also, the rainfly looks a bit saggier with more creases compared to before the rain test started. So, after an hour of heavy rain, I checked it on the tent, and here are the results. Overall, the tent was almost completely dry except for a few drops of water in the middle. This came in from the top of the tent through the mesh, and it was because I left this vent open in the heavy rain, which I closed when I realized that it was leaking. As for the other vent though, since the rain was coming in one direction and it was facing the other direction, no water leaked through that vent. Since both vents can be closed from the inside, I'd still consider this a pass. Then I checked all the seams in the corners because these tend to be the first to leak in the heavy rain, and well, none of them leaked at all, and neither did any of the other seams. I also checked the tub floor from the inside to see if it let any water in, and nope, it was completely dry. Still on the same point, I also lifted the rainfly to check in on the tub floor from the outside. It's really high, so it kept all the water out. After that, I checked the underside of the rainfly to see if any water seeped through, and as you notice from the end of the rain test, the spots around the vestibules were slightly damp. It wasn't a ton of water though, just very slightly damp, much less than I expected. So overall, I think the REI Half Dome did great in the rain. This tent is made of nylon, which tends to absorb water in the rain compared to other polyester tents that I've tested on this channel. And this material tends to cause a saggy and slightly wetter fly. But even after 1 hour of heavy rain for me, I didn't even have to readjust the rainfly to prevent it from touching the tent body. So overall, I thought the number of stakeout points were enough for this. On top of that, the tent was completely dry on the inside, so I'd say that this did pretty well. But waterproofing isn't the only thing you should look for in a tent, so check out this video on the screen for a full review. Thank you for watching this, and I'll see you in that one.